Hello everyone, Ferb here, and welcome back to episode 15 of Factorio. How are you guys doing? I'm back. We are doing some more Factorio today. So, what has changed? Well, not a whole lot. Just some basic things have changed. However, the whole game itself has actually changed. While we were away, version 0.15 was released, and we can't play it. It only loads up the new version when you start a new game, and because new ores and stuff were implemented into the game, we actually don't have access to the new version, which kinda sucks, and that just makes me want to work on this more so that we can get that ready for next season, which we will have the new stuff. So, you know, best get going, you know. So here is actually let's see. So I can't remember how last episode ended. I think it ended with me finishing off the wall, and the wall was done, and it's all good. What I don't believe I showed is that all of... Actually, I would have showed this. Yeah, I showed I cut down all the trees, and I put the radars in. Okay. Good. Cool. So, in case I didn't, that's what I did. And we have a few, I just moved some things around. There's no more iron down that way, so now I am using up the iron here. And there's no more stone over here, so I'm using up the stone up here. Pretty cool. Okay, so, other than that, nothing else has really changed. Everything's pretty much the same. Yeah, just sort of been holding off for a bit. So, what are we going to do today? Well, let's just come down here for a second. Just look at what's going on here, guys. So, this is how we've been working for the last little while. We've got everything crammed into this one tiny space. And don't get me wrong, it works. It works, but that's not very appealing to look at. No, it is not. So, what we're going to do is we're going to deconstruct everything. Yes, everything is going to be deconstructed, and we're going to move it. So how is this going to work? Well, the plan is to use the design that other people have used in the past, and it seems to work pretty well. The way it works is you have your basic, think of it like a line on a manufacturing system, okay? You've got your items that go along the line, and they can be taken off for different things. So basically, you have like a line or two lines of iron, two lines of copper, and you got your line of like green circuits and red circuits, and those just go all along, and they go down. And then when they need to be used for something, they're pulled off, turned into something, and then that new something is thrown back on the line. So that is basically the idea behind it. And if we look right here, we've got a fairly clean stretch of land right here. So yeah, we've got this nice spot right here. So that is where we're going to put all of our stuff. We've got a few things in the way. We got this pump jack and stuff, but that's not a big issue. We can worry about that later. Okay, so how are we going to do this? Well, that's something else. What we're basically going to do is, I believe all of these machines are backed up at the moment, right? Yeah, you're full and the rest of you guys are full, I know that. Is anything currently still being done? Is there processing anywhere going on? You're not doing anything. You're not doing anything. You're not doing anything. You're done. Cool. So the only processing going on is with this oil right here, okay? So that means that we can start deconstructing all of this, except for maybe our big chest that actually contains stuff, and we should be in good shape. So here is what we're gonna do. First off, we are going to actually, before we do anything, I think what I want to do is grab a whole bunch of assembly machine 2s. So then that's going to use up some of the electronic circuits. Whatever, we won't worry about that. But if we just grab a bunch of those, because we're going to need a lot of assembling machines. And let's do that. So that's going to take a while to craft. And then we're just gonna start deconstructing this stuff. So it's simply a matter of taking those and those and those, just like that. So now all of that is disconnected. Everything's gonna start being well, consumed. And when things are consumed, we should be in good shape. I'm not gonna wait for everything to be consumed. I'm gonna just slowly start pulling this stuff away right away. So if we just do this and we do that, and whoa, what are you guys doing? A little bit of that. I wanna make sure I don't hit any of these big chests. Like for example, I don't want to hit this chest filled with steel, because I clearly can't handle that much in my inventory. So just being careful. So let's just take that, take that. Okay. So now I think, is there any big chests in this area? Not here. So you can grab all that. Oh no, I don't want the rest. I don't want you guys grabbing it. Maybe I'll just grab it myself. There we go. Okay. So basically the plan is to clear up all this and move it away. Maybe if I just disconnect all... Yeah, here, let's do this. If I disconnect power from all of these roboports, then hopefully they won't send robots out anymore, and then I can just use my personal robots to collect all the stuff. Okay, the basic stuff is pretty much all cleared out. All the stuff that sort of crafted our stuff over for this area. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start working on this design that I have in mind. Okay, let's shut up here. I don't have the conveyor belts I need. Let's go grab some of those first. Because we're not gonna be using these crappy transport belts anymore. No. We're gonna be using the faster transport belts right there. I just gotta find them because they're all throughout these chests now. Okay, so we got just 50 some. There's more down here because I actually had them auto crafting, so we can grab some. There we go. So let's head up this way and let's start building. It's time. We've just been destroying stuff. We haven't even destroyed that much yet. All that stuff pretty much is going to be deconstructed and moved into a nicer looking area. Hopefully, I don't know. I've never done this sort of tedious work before, so we're going to see sort of what happens. Because normally you would do something like this right from the start, but that's not what I did. So if we do 2 lines, these will be our 2 lines for iron. Okay. Then we do, oh, it's dark out. Yeah. Then we do 2 lines for copper. Okay, so that stuff is there. And yeah, you know what, we just start with that. So we'll have to go and we gotta bring iron and copper up that way. So how do we want to do that? I guess just manually for now. That might be the best way, yeah. Okay. Let's see what we can do. I don't know. Again, I'm new to this, so we're learning stuff. Let's see what we can do. Now, the base is not gonna look good for a while. until I actually do some work on it. But we're gonna do some of this, and just to start things off, you know, just to get it going, we'll do something like that, and that should get power coming over here. Nice. Okay, so now we're gonna start doing some stuff just to get this going. So first off, something we're actually gonna want to do. Well, we can get that going later. We're going to want to make sure all these belts are full on both sides, but we're going to worry about that in a bit. That's actually not super necessary at the moment. Actually, I don't want all of my iron in there. I want some of it in here. And then copper and copper. Cool. So we're going to let all that stuff come out. That's just going to be the start of our line, basically. So let's go grab a bit more. So we've got the start of our line here. Now, how do we want to do stuff? We've got to start. We need to get our production for all of the science packs back up. So let's first think about that. Let's do this sort of mathematically, and let's try and figure it out. So to get science pack 1s, it's 5.5 seconds. Okay, so we need 2 iron, or we need an iron gear wheel, and 1 copper plate. Every 5.5 seconds, okay? Every 5.5 seconds, okay? Every 5.5 seconds, okay?
Rock.
Wrong.
That is absolutely
wrong.
Proved over and over again.
Wrong.
He actually had.
So let's just get stuff placed down. This won't be the final spot for it, but let's just see sort of how this would work. So for science pack 1s, okay. So that's every 5.5 seconds-ish. What would it be in here? Okay, so 5.5 times 0.75, not 0.75. 0.75. Okay, so it'll be just over 4 seconds. So if we do something every 4 seconds, then we should be good. So if we were to do... So iron gear wheels are produced every 0.5 seconds. Okay. So if we can have 1 iron gear wheel thing serving 4 of these, if I'm not mistaken. So one iron gear wheel producing machine can serve 4 assembly machines. If I just do this. And then that. Cool. So 1 of the iron gears can serve 4 of those. So we can set that up pretty easily like that. So that's the reds actually pretty much done. If we just want to do that right now. So let's do that. Let's do that. So what we want to do is we want to get stuff out here. So how do we want to do that? Well, if we go... what do I need? I need iron and stuff, so good thing we can just grab some off here. Cool. I'm just going to grab some of the iron and copper we threw in here. Okay, so if we grab some fast splitters, because that's going to be our... Well, fast splitters and fast underground belts are going to be the main things that are going to help us with this right now. So... Just finish off, guys. Come on. Yeah, get going. Almost done. Cool. So we got these splitters though, or yeah, splitters. So what these are gonna do, or these are gonna help us with keeping the flow going throughout the belt, while at the same time allowing us to sort of, you know, do what we need to do. So first off, at the very beginning of this, we're just gonna throw one there, and we're gonna throw one there. And what that's going to do is if we take off this belt, both of these are going to be able to fill up that belt. That's just a little thing there. So then we're going to take off this belt right here. And see how that splits it there, but keeps the flow of iron going. Okay? Nice. So what we're going to do then is if we grab some of our belts, we can just bring them right up here. And from here, what we can do is we can just go... I'm going to just go right into a production facility for iron gears. Just like that. So that's pretty simple. And then, once the iron gears are done, we can have them come out and along this way, where they will... Okay, so we need 4 facilities like that, because that will allow us to use all the things we're doing. And if we just do that, no, that. Cool. So that should allow us, once we get that stuff up and running. In fact, let's get that going just to make sure it works. Okay, so now that we've got all of those set up in such a way that we are producing iron gears, and we're producing them at a good speed, and everything's good. So what we're going to do now is we need to be able to take copper out, and we need to bring copper up here. So copper needs to go through this iron line, and that's where the underground belts come in handy. So we want to bring copper up, and probably just on this same line right here wouldn't even be a bad idea. How would we want to do that, though? I'm not sure. I might have an idea. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're just going to take the belt here for iron, and we're just going to do this. Then, what we can do is throw a splitter like that, and bring copper up that way. So you can see that we're pulling off the copper line, but the iron line still stays uninterrupted. And that's the key to making this system work really well. Okay, so then, well, we'll probably just want to use some inserters here. I don't know. But for example, we do that. Okay, so now these need to be set to the red science packs, and then we can just shift right click to select that, and then left. There. So now you can see all 4 of these are going, and they're producing red science packs. So really, one of these, I think, can support quite a few of these assembling machines, but whatever. We don't need to worry about that a whole lot. Okay, so then once we've got those, we should just be able to go like that, like that, like that, and like that. And come along that way, and then if we just give that... Oh, don't shoot stuff. If we just give power to this stuff... yeah, right there. Cool, so now you can see we're already producing these red science packs. Cool. So, already that looks a lot cleaner than what we had down there. So, let's take a look at creating the next type of science pack. The next type of science pack is the science pack number 2. So, that requires inserters and transport belts. So, if we take a look at transport belts, they require iron plates and gear wheels. So those are actually very easy to make. So we're actually going to look at inserters for a minute. Those require electronic circuits, iron gear wheels, and iron plates. Well, if we want to do this efficiently, what we can do is set up a facility sort of over here for producing these green circuits. So let's take a look at how green circuits are made. They are made with an iron plate and 3 copper cable, and they take 0.5 seconds to make. Okay, so if we look at copper cable, that takes also 0.5 seconds to make, and you get 2 of it. So if we want 3, if we do 3 of these for every 2 of these, so 3 copper cable productions to every 2 electronic circuit productions, we should be in good shape. So, how many electronic circuit things do we want? Probably 8, I'd say. Which would mean we would need, so we need 12 of the copper cable production lines. Okay. So if we bring copper down this way, and then we sort of go... Actually, we bring... Yeah, okay, this might work better. Let's see. And then 1, 2, 3. So that's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to take copper, and we're going to bring copper down the edges right here. And right... Nope. And right here. And then, once copper is produced, it is going... that's not 3, that's 2 spots. Ugh. Okay. So once this copper cable is produced, it will then follow this line down the center and out over this way. So let's just take a look at what we're doing completely right now. So if we grab some inserters and we want to insert here, no, actually I want to insert just to keep everything sort of the same. We'll insert in this top corner here. That way this bottom one can also be inserted into that top corner. And we go there, there, there. I'm going to need some more fast inserters. Cool. So now that we've got that going, we are going to take a splitter. That. And we're going to go... It's actually in a bad spot. You know what? Let's do something. Okay. Let's remove all that. And we'll move it over to there. Oh. There. Cool. So that's just going to place everything back down. Nice. Okay. So now that that's moved, we should be able to connect it properly. And just do a... if we pull off of these lines, let's see, how do we want to do this to keep things going? Yeah, you know what? If we just pull off this copper line here, yeah. So we pull off this line here, and then we need another splitter. Just wait for that. Something I'll want to automate pretty quickly too. Okay, we'll do another splitter there. So it splits off of this line and then splits that line again. And then if we go like that, and like that. Nice. Okay, so all that's gonna flow, and should be good. We'll actually have steady belts coming into this thing later. That's just right now it's not. In fact, how do I want to do this? What if we remove this and place it here? And we just split that belt at 2 different points. Yeah, that's better. Okay. Nice. So now that's going to happen there. No, quit firing the gun. And then if we hook power lines up here. Okay, and then quit shooting stuff. Let's go. I guess we just have to throw a power line here and here and here. Okay. So now that that's all in place, we can just throw a light here and like one up here or something. Okay. So that's all in place and that's good. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to go here again. And we're going to set you to be copper cable. And then we're going to shift right click. And shift left click, left click, left click. That. Nice. So now you can see we're getting a bunch of copper cable. Look at that. Cool. Okay, yeah. Yeah, we did that right. Nice. So now what we're going to do is we're going to come over here. And we're going to set up 8 8 things just like this. And we're gonna go just bring yeah, okay. What else do we need for electronic circuits? We need iron plates. Okay. So we can bring iron plates across to, let's see. Yeah, you know what? We can use a little trick that I've actually wanted to try for a while. And yeah, we should be able to do this pretty easily, actually. You know, though, this... Yeah. Let's actually reverse the line here, which is actually pretty easy to do. We can just remove that and then just do that. So that line is now reversed, and we're actually going to come this way and go under that. Cool. So yeah, we're gonna bring the wire up this way and across, and it's gonna come over here. Okay. Nice. Probably not that far yet. And then we're gonna go like that, like that. Cool. And then throw another fast splitter, which we're running out of stuff for, but whatever. Let's do that. Cool. I got more. And we'll just throw that fast splitter right here. Cool. And bring this iron down this way. So, how is this going to work? I actually need to move that over one. Okay, nice. So now we got this, and we got this. And since this iron belt is going to be fully saturated on both sides at some point, we can't just add these copper cable to the copper cable to that. It just won't work properly. So what we can do, which is actually pretty neat, is if we do that, and then we start. Do we want to put the iron on this? Yeah, yeah. So we'll put the iron, for example, on this underground belt here. Okay. So if we put the iron on that underground belt. And we need some other underground belts. Crap. Okay, let's set this up. If we go like that, and then back into the belt there, and then pop out there. Okay, yeah, this will work. Okay. So now we've got the fast belts, and something you can actually do is notice how the yellow belts and the fast belts don't interact in any way. They don't interact. So what we can do is something like this. So something like this. And as you can see, if we were to, well, I'm not going to add in the copper coil yet. But as you can see, it's clear here, and it's, you know, filled with iron there. And we can actually have one single line here with two different things going down it, both in fully saturated belts. So that's pretty cool. Okay, so then we can go like that, and like that, and then that, like that. And that should be good. And then we take the red belts and we go that to that, and that, just like that. So now you can see that if we were to do something like this, you guys are going to pull both off of this one and off of this one. And you guys are going to pull both off of this one and off of this one. And same with you guys. And then you guys are going to do the same. Nice. So it's just like that. Pretty cool. Pretty cool, right? So now we grab our power and we just hook you guys up. That's actually really simple that time. It's just simple like that. And throw a light there and a light down there. Cool. So now what we should be able to do is grab from the back here and from the side here. And just bring this way. Are we out of belts again? Yes, we are. Okay, so we're gonna end up bringing stuff this way and this way, and then it's gonna get combined here. So we're gonna need another splitter, and then it's just going to go up here and become part of the line. Just like that. So that's sort of how it works. You can see we pull stuff off, and we end up adding something new back on. And that's the basic gist of how this is going to work. Like that. So now, all that's left to do here is set these to make electronic circuits, and then we can do the little shift, shift right click, and left click, left click, left click, left click, there we go. So now that all those are set, all that's left to do is come up here and hook that up. And look at that. Look at that, guys. It's going to take a second before it ends up catching up with these ones down here. But eventually these should all be running at full speed, I believe, if it's working right. There we go. Looks like these guys are grabbing stuff now. Whoa, just got laggy there for a second. There we go. So now you can see all that stuff is caught up and it's running at full speed. The only issue right now is the fact that these belts aren't going to be, you know, actually exporting the correct amount, sort of thing. But you can see now we've got a belt of green circuits. Pretty sweet. So now you can see already that we produce those green circuits a lot faster because we've got more infrastructure here than we did down there. And that is the main reason why we're actually doing this stuff. Okay, so now that that's done, we can actually with this red, with the red science pack here, we can actually bring it down this way and join onto the line there. Nice. And then you can see the line just grows bigger and bigger as it goes down. You'll collect more stuff onto it and, you know, do what you need to do. Okay. So I think what we're going to do now is actually move the drop-off point for our resources to be up here and to be sort of satisfying these belts properly. So the only issue that we currently have is that the way our train currently runs is that it runs in such a way that makes it, you know, it's one train trying to pick up 3 resources. Or is it 4 resources? No, it's 3 resources. So that's kind of an issue. Because in order for our stuff to be super efficient, we can only really have 1 train per resource. So what we've set up to sort of work from like previous stuff isn't going to sort of be what we're going to be doing anymore. So we're actually going to remove this train and stuff, and we're going to remove that and all. We'll end up grabbing the rest of that. But we're actually going to take the train. And we're going to build a little station up here to drop off the resources for each separate thing. So, if we come up here... So now we're going to have multiple trains running on the same network. So that's going to require a bit of trickery to get going. But should work pretty well. So if we go just like... Okay, I mean, obviously I need some more rail. Okay, guys, so I'm going to play around with some designs and stuff. Basically, what's going to happen is we're going to get trains to come along here. They're going to just actually go back and forth between picking up resources and coming back here, and they're going to constantly do that, basically. And the train will be unloaded, and the resources will be placed directly onto the belt. That's the plan. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to work on some designs and stuff, and I'm going to try and expand this belt a bit, give you guys a better idea sort of what we're going to be doing. So I'll automate a few more things, and then we're going to come back and we're going to take a look at what's happened and sort of how it all works, and hopefully I can, you know, actually do a good job of explaining it to you guys.